Gautam, I'm quite intrigued by the list that you actually talked about earlier, where you do see value. You were talking about power, you were talking about real estate, and of course, travel and tourism. Travel and tourism, I understand that's a decadal theme, but why power? Do you also believe that power is a structural story, or is it more a bottom up now that the stocks have corrected across the board?
No, I think it's a structural story. And if you look at even solar, so I'm actually off tomorrow to Kavda to see a solar facility. The biggest issue that I'm hearing from the wind turbine makers, from the solar companies, is that evacuation has become a challenge. So you see, if you look at every aspect of the power industry, the demand is decadal, for a really long time because you're looking at transmission, you're looking at distribution, which the government obviously wants to privatize, the smart meter business, which is going to reduce the losses. It is fascinating the changes that the Modi government has undertaken in the power sector. And so that's one aspect of it, i.e. the electrification and the need of having more green energy. The second element, don't forget, is actually AI. I'm going back to AI for a minute. The amount of energy that's consumed by a simple chat GPT or perplexity search is 10x that of a simple Google search. So increasingly, with 750 to 800 million smartphones in use, people are increasingly turning to AI to get their queries answered or to look for restaurants in New York or restaurants in Delhi, etc. So as a result of which, the demand for power over the next 10 to 20 years in India is just going to be exponential. The second element of the need for power is going to be the explosive growth of data centers. The government of India has clearly told all of the social media companies, global social media companies, to house Indian citizens' data in India, to localize it. But we don't have enough data center capacity. So as that comes up, you will need even more power. And let me leave you with an interesting fact. There's been more data created in the last 3 years than ever before in the history of the world. So that just tells you how much data is out there, which is currently sitting, with your and my profiles in Palo Alto or some data center in Arizona. That's going to have to come to India over the next few years, and hence the need for power is going to be exponential.
Sure, I get that. And I think, COVID also played a huge role on when all of us sort of, got back to our devices the way we did. But Gautam, other than that, what's the best way to play the power theme right now? Would it be through financiers or would it be through, the solar theme, etc., that you just talked about?
Yeah, so I think, let's keep, again, I'm going back to what I said at the beginning, that valuations were stretched for a lot of these companies, and you've seen a good 30 to 40% correction. Now, is the power sector like some of the EMS companies? Is that sector going to be expensive from a valuation perspective? Unfortunately, I think the answer is yes. And the reason I say that is because the growth is exponential. And when you look at a Dixon, which is growing at 90 to 100% quarter after quarter, I'm not justifying Dixon's valuations, but it gives you a sense of what the growth is. I'm not saying the power sector is growing at 100%, but this is going to be a high growth sector for the next several years, at least a decade. So my view is that you can play this through transmission. You can play this through transformers, people who manufacture transformers. I mean, there are so many multiple ways of playing this. The data center business, which effectively is like a mall business. But the fact is, again, the exponential growth that's coming in the data center business, there are no pure plays today, but you will see that coming through as well as more companies list. So I think you will see also the listed space is limited today, but you will see more companies getting listed over the next few years.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.